It feels like forever ago since I was able to actually show you guys a first look with the new vehicle in front of me, but here I am just outside of DC with the all-new iconic 2021 Ford Bronco. So let's finally take a first look with the car here. So finally staring at the new Bronco in person, I have to admit, in pictures this truck looks insanely awesome, and in person it looks even more badass. Ford really nailed the design of this truck. They captured a lot of the retro cues of the original Bronco, but of course brought it into the 21st century, which Ford is typically very good with that. Just take a look at the Mustang and its retro-inspired theme. Now, Ford says that the Bronco was built wild. This is a truck that is based off of the Ford Ranger platform. It's a modified Ranger platform, and I have to admit, this is the two-door model, which is a Jeep Wrangler competitor. You guys should know that by now. They also offer it in 4 doors. I only have the 2-door here. And seeing this truck in person, I have to say, I'm super impressed because literally what Ford did here is they took the Wrangler formula and I think they made it even more better. Although it has the iconic look that you expect from the Bronco, but Ford kind of gave it its own identity. It doesn't look like a copycat of the Wrangler. It looks like the rebirth of the Bronco. You can see the grille has Bronco spelled out right in the center so you don't forget what this is. You've got these circular LED headlights with LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals. Down here you can see this particular one here has the steel bumpers, which will be an option. You can get steel bumpers in the front and the rear, and you can also get an accessory winch mount. So if you guys plan to do some serious off-roading, the Bronco has you covered. Down here you can see there's some skid plates, bash plates Ford calls it, and the company says that this particular one here with the 35-inch tall tires offers around 11.6 inches of ground clearance. Now, follow me over to the side of the vehicle. You know, this is the 2-door model, so this one stretches around 173 inches long. Its wheelbase is around 100 inches long. There's about 16 inches that separates the 2-door and the 4-door models, so this one here is the smaller one, which I actually like the proportions of it, although Ford pretty much knows that most people will be buying the 4-door because with Jeep Wrangler, only about 5% actually take the 2-door variation. Now, check out these wheels and tires. Ford offers the biggest wheels that you can get in this segment. It's actually a 35-inch tall tire. You can see they're wrapped in 315 70s R17s. These are special beadlock wheels. So this tire will be extremely difficult to knock it off the actual beadlock because it's been designed to handle the rough terrain. This little side rocker bar right here, if you guys get the skid plate option, is strong enough to support the entire side of this vehicle. So if you guys do some rock crawling in this thing and you hit it or you high center the vehicle there, the Bronco will be able to take the abuse. Now, obviously, this one here has the hardtop. Ford already took off the doors and the roof to kind of remind us, hey, the Bronco is here. It's a Jeep Wrangler fighter. And I have to say, we'll get into the interior in just a moment, but Ford did want me to tell you guys that this is a prototype model, so the interior is not going to be finished to the exact specifications of an actual production model. Now, following me over to the rear of the truck, you can see I see so much heritage here at the back here with the tail lights. This one here, it looks like has an all-incandescent design. I'm imagining the higher trims of the Bronco will have an LED tail light just like you get on the Wrangler. The 2-door model, as you can see, is considerably smaller. This one here doesn't have the steel bumper in the back. This is just a plastic bumper, and you also have this massive 35-inch tall spare. Now, opening up the trunk area here, you can see the 4-door allows you to put the roof and the doors in a special bag and store it in the trunk. You can't do that on the 2-door because look how small the trunk is on the 2-door. Now, I don't have numbers yet for the actual space, but you can see these seats, they look like they do fold down. If you fold them down, let me see here. They don't fold completely flat, but again, this is kind of a prototype model. And then Ford said that there's a little bit of hidden storage over there. You also find the jack and some of your tools and whatnot. So obviously the 2-door is the cooler model, but if you want more space, more practicality, you're gonna wanna go for the 4 doors. All right, so I finally got the Bronco here in person, so I figured I should probably pop the hood and show you guys what's powering this thing. Now, it looks like somebody at Ford is already taking this thing mudding, but this is the base engine that you'll find in the Bronco. It's the Mustang EcoBoost's 2.3-liter turbocharged direct injection 4-cylinder. This is also the same engine that you find in the Ranger. Ford says it should make around 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. They stress that 310 torque is the highest torque that you'll find in the 4-cylinder engine family, or at least in the segment. The optional engine will be a 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6. That'll offer up to 310 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. If you guys are looking to get the 7-speed manual, which I showed you guys in my other first look video, the 4-cylinder is the only engine to get the 7-speed manual with that dedicated crawl ratio. All the other ones will have a 10-speed automatic. So the 10-speed is optional on the 4-cylinder. The V6 will come standard with the 10-speed automatic. All Broncos will be 4-wheel drive. There's 2 different transfer cases that you can get, either a more basic one with a high and a low range, or you can also get an automatic system system where it'll switch between rear or four-wheel drive depending on the slipperiness of the conditions. Broncos can tow a maximum of 3,500 pounds, which is actually pretty good. It matches pretty much that of the Wrangler. And of course, fuel economy hasn't been announced yet, weight hasn't been announced yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if this truck probably was over 4,500 pounds when it's fully loaded. All right, so I've been really excited to actually sit in one of these Broncos, and thankfully Ford said that I could sit in it just to show you guys in the video what the interior is like. Now, I want to make it clear, this interior is a prototype model. It is not what the full production model is going to look like, because the details in here, there's a lot of cheap plastics because it's just a model that Ford is just showing around to show people what the interior is like. But I have to say, sitting in this interior, if you sit inside a Wrangler and you get into this, you can clearly see that Ford obviously was going after the Wrangler. This one here with its 11.6 inches of ground clearance gives you a really commanding view of the road, but it actually feels a lot more roomy than I thought it would. Like, the truck itself feels a little bit wider than the last Wrangler I sat in. I also like these seats. These are just the standard cloth seats, but they actually are pretty comfortable. They're a little more comfortable than the last Wrangler I sat in. In terms of the way the dashboard looks, Ford said that they went with a much retro design. Like, this basically is reminiscent of the Bronco from the 60s. However, it's been brought into the 21st century. It will have Ford's Sync 4 infotainment system with a 12-inch display. This, as you can see, is the smaller, I want to say 8-inch display. You can see if you got the 12-inch display, this border would probably disappear. I like the design of the dash vents, of the actual dash. You've got these buttons over here. This one here has the locking front and rear differential. You've got your stability control off switch over there. Just a single manual climate control here with just some, very traditional knobs. This is the 10-speed auto. Your four-wheel drive mode is over here. You can see there's actually a 4x4 auto mode, so this has the upgraded four-wheel drive system. And the center console here is surprisingly decent size. Your mirror controls are down here. Window controls are down here on the center console as well. Now, the one thing I'm also noticing, Ford stressed that because they moved the sport bar from usually right here in the Wrangler to behind the second row, check out this unobstructed view that you get with the top down. I mean, this is probably what's going to sell a lot of people. It's going to make a lot of Jeep people trade in their Broncos, honestly, or trade in their Wranglers for a Bronco. And I think it's a huge selling feature. So obviously Ford did their homework extremely right when they did this Bronco. So if you guys are looking to pick up one of these Broncos now, you can actually go to Ford's website and put down a $100 deposit, and it's going to start at around $29,995. I expect fully loaded versions of this truck to be over $60,000, just like in the Wrangler if you guys go for all the bells and whistles. The Bronco will be on sale by the spring of 2021. Ford will begin production of this truck by the end of this year. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed my first look of overview in person of the 2021 Ford Bronco. If you're also looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, be sure to follow me on Instagram at redline_reviews, like us on Facebook, and as always guys, please keep subscribing to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.